3, 2, 1. Action. Okay, now that messed the whole... Oh, don't do that. Put your legs down. Okay, I don't know if this is right. I don't think they can see me. Move over. Okay, sit up like a
You
little
want
bit.
me to check it?
Yeah. See if I'm in half of it.
If I was in view, you're in.
Okay, come on.
It's in view up to like half. Ugh.
Good morning, everyone. Today we are doing a combination video. I wanted to talk a little more specifically about my Moissanite ring and why we chose it. And I couldn't really talk about that without talking about our engagement story, and people wanted to hear that from Nathan, and he's finally home. He had a 100-hour work week, so I'm really happy to see him. And he promised me he'd do this when he got home, and so there's no resting for him.
There never is.
I'm constantly talking. Okay, so I think that we should just start from the beginning. So I'll start and you say things when you feel it's necessary.
Okay.
I think he's happy to do this. Okay, so let's take it way back. Our second date, I knew I was gonna marry Nate. I came home from the date, I texted 2 or 3 of my friends, and I told them I was gonna marry Nate, and they're like, let's not talk about this right now. And I was like, no, I just want you to know that. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
As far as I know.
so yeah, our first date was good, but our second date we kind of talked more about serious like values and stuff, and I was like, this kid just understands me, and it's still true.
Yeah.
So anyways, that goes there. So I've been ready to be engaged for a long time. So then things got more serious. We continued to date, obviously, and then what happened? I guess.
You pretty much moved in.
Oh yeah, so I pretty much moved in right away, but to his parents' house. He had moved home from a house with guys, and so anyways, I constantly was staying there, and so things moved sort of fast anyways. I don't remember the point where we were like we were gonna get married, but there was a decision made that we would, do that. And so the saving up for the ring started, and I've always known that I wanted a heart shape, yada yada. I was kind of asking around. At that point, I'd never really thought about engagement rings seriously, so I didn't know what was like a normal carat size, things like that. Pretty much decided that the norm around here is 1 carat. I would get the certain ring, whatever. So we started saving for it.
Yeah.
So we're pretty modern. I think we like to share things that we can, so I didn't think it was fair for him to buy all of it. So we started saving up for a ring that would be pretty much exactly what I have in a diamond, but about $8,000, and it would be under a carat, because that's some serious money.
Yeah.
So we started saving, and then when we got to the apartment, we had about just $2,000. We moved into the apartment. We used about half of that just for like moving expenses, first month rent, so we didn't have to worry about much. And for some reason, I had been searching on Wedding Bee and things like that, and I kept hearing people talk about moissanites. So I was researching them more, and you can reference my other video with my friend Kayla, and I'll put all of my information about moissanites below, all that I can, but pretty much you can just go on any forum, type in moissanite, you can learn about it if you'd like.
Yep.
I was just thinking to myself that, if Nate's on board, this is a really good option. We only have to spend about $800, and we can be engaged whenever we want to. We don't have to wait on the money, and ironically, we already had debt, but we didn't want to go into more debt, like take out a loan or something just to get this ring. We wanted to start off the right way, even though we had some debt, but that wasn't the point. So one night I showed him all the details on that, and I was like, what do you think? And I think you were pretty into it.
Well, I was a little hesitant.
Yeah, you said, let's think about it. You're like, are you sure that's what you want? So we weren't right away like, yes.
It's pretty typical that people want diamonds.
Right.
So it's very odd that she told me not to.
Yeah, but I guess when we came to the conclusion, the price point definitely was something that we were interested in. I really just value what it symbolizes, and I don't think it's necessary to have a diamond, or I didn't. Sort of the eco-friendliness of it all.
It comes from a meteor.
Well,
Meteorite, and it's lab created too. But.
Yeah, these are the ones now are lab created, but the originals came from a meteorite. But like you'd hear about blood diamonds, things like that. So, just avoiding that whole discussion. There were a lot of pros to it for us, and how comparable it was to a diamond. I felt like I was still getting a real ring. I mean, it's still a real gem. So I didn't feel like I was being cheated. And I'm not one of those people, when people...
I feel like you get more cheated on a diamond.
Honestly. Where I'm going with this is that people nowadays, it's a lot more modern. People, even if they're getting diamonds, are getting black diamonds or pink diamonds. And if they're not, they're getting morganites, which is a pink stone, or sapphires, or there's white sapphires that people are getting now to simulate a diamond more. So I just think, even though it's not totally acceptable, it's still not really an issue. And for us, like, the big thing, you have to be comfortable with it yourselves. Like, I don't think it matters and for someone else to like be upset all day. Like, no one's gonna be upset all day that I don't have a diamond. And if they are, then they have no lives. Like if I were to tell them that. A lot of people that I've told have been like, oh, you can upgrade later. And I'm like, well, I don't actually really need to or want to. So anyways, that's besides the point. So we decided on a moissanite because we had the money for that. So this ties into the engagement story because I've pretty much known every step of the way what has been coming. So should I get into the whole thing?
Like what whole thing? You hassling me every day?
Yeah, so I'm pretty annoying.
Very.
And well, Nate told me he bought the ring, and apparently he didn't.
It was on April Fool's Day.
But that wasn't like an April Fool's. Like, you were dead serious. Like
I was serious.
I was like, if you are not serious right now.
It was just a bad day to say that.
Yeah, so basically he ended up not getting it that day. But I thought that he had. So I kept nagging him about it, like, so did you really or really not buy it? So then eventually he had to buy it because I was so annoyed by him. So anyways, it's in a time span of, okay, so that was April Fool's. You probably ordered it by the 15th. Order was processed you had it by the end of April.
Yeah.
So, me being very nosy, I kept asking, like, where's the ring? Did it arrive? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, she made it very hard to make it any...
It's kind of surprised. So,
yeah, not very romantic at all.
We're getting there. So I was like, where is it? And he was like, it's in my truck, which
was a lie.
Which was a lie. Our relationship is built on lies. But anyways, I thought that was very logical. You love your truck and you're always with your truck. So I was like, okay, that's a safe place, It was shipped to his parents' house, by the way. We ordered from moissaniteco.com. And we looked up the reviews, blah, blah, blah.
Very good.
He's a very careful person. So I thought it was in his truck. So then, it's the morning of May 2nd. And
she wakes me up to take a walk.
I wake him up. I happened to miss class that morning. So then I was, like, let's wake up, let's go for a walk. And Nate was gonna have to miss class too, so I'm sorry that happened, but it was worth it. And I was like, we need to go for a walk. I was just on this healthy kick, I guess. And I had to nag him, and then he woke up and we went for a walk. He skipped his class. And he was gonna skateboard. So we went to the garage where the truck is, and I was like, oh my God, he is going to get the ring out of the truck. This is gonna be so exciting. But we got there, and we didn't have the keys for his truck, which he was gonna grab his sunglasses too, which were in his truck. Okay, this might not make sense because I'm like so excited. So we grabbed the skateboard.
I didn't grab it. Oh, okay, yeah, I did grab the skateboard.
You grabbed the skateboard.
No, the skateboard was in your car, wasn't it?
No.
No, never mind.
Okay,
so the skateboard was in the garage. I didn't have to go.
Skateboard was in the garage, but we didn't have the access to the truck. So I was like, oh, well, it's not happening today because the this ring is in the truck and he can't get in the truck. So whatever. So we start and it's super windy out, and I think you're boarding, and then
it was too windy.
It was too windy because secretly he had the ring in his pockets without any protection, just the loose ring. Okay. So we return the skateboard because it's hella windy. And then we keep walking, and it was an awful day.
Yeah, it was super windy.
Just not what I
Kind of tough
thought.
to walk.
Yeah, and I think I was just in my nasty PJs. And there wasn't like all this green stuff yet, so it really wasn't that beautiful. We were walking, and then we went around this way, and there's a gazebo at this park. And it was like, do you want to go over and rest? And I thought he was just trying to be annoying. Like, I could propose to you then, but I'm not going to. And I knew it wasn't going to happen because I thought he didn't have the ring. I was like, no, I don't need a rest. He was like, me neither. And I was like, okay. So we kept walking. We get to right about our apartment. He was like, Tori, will you do me a favor? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then he pulled out the ring, and he asked me to be his wife. And I said, no effing way.
I was like, what did I do wrong?
He was like, oh, well, should I not do it right now? And I was like, no, yes. I was actually surprised because me knowing every step of the way, knowing it was here, there were like 3 main spots that we had really good dates in the beginning. And so I thought, he's going to take me to this park. It's going to be this big extravagant thing. And it ended up being quite simple, which is really just you.
Yeah.
Does that mean? That's not mean. That's nice. I think that's a compliment for you.
Well, that's
He's just,
a bit simple.
he's a relaxed, simple dude. And I actually really preferred it that way. I was actually surprised, and that's why those words came out of my mouth. But then I said yes. And we were happy and whatever.
Yeah.
So.
It turned out I had hidden it in here the whole time.
Where, though? Oh, yeah, and I kept following him around that morning.
Yeah, she wouldn't leave me alone.
But I didn't realize that he put it in there.
So I didn't have enough time to go dig through stuff. Ironically, it was in a gym bag.
Oh, wow, that's embarrassing.
Sure.
So basically, synopsis on the Moissanite, if you're sticking around for that. Pros and cons are listed on a lot of sites. I haven't really noticed any things that have made me be like, oh, I really wish I had a diamond. The feel of it for me, the look of it, everything really adds up. It has a lot of brilliance, they say. So it kind
very
of
shiny,
very reflective. Has like a lot of rainbow flecks rather than I think diamonds really just show off white sparkles. But I have noticed it looks best in artificial light. Whereas when you go outside, you'll read that it has this sort of, they call it fluorescence, where it can be kind of yellowy green. It's not like so blatant that people would be like, ugh. But I think I notice it.
I've never noticed it.
So yeah, I think it looks better in artificial light rather than outside in natural light. I have noticed that, and they warn you on sites and things like that. But other than that, I mean, hardness is very similar to a diamond. Of course, it's not because diamonds are the hardest mineral known. But
they're like a 9.5 in diamonds.
9.25, 9.5, yeah. So I've been very pleased with it, and I'm not scared about wearing a huge rock on my hand every day. Not that I'm doing anything crazy, but yeah. What do you think?
I think it was a good idea.
Yeah, we're happy that we didn't break the bank and that we got engaged whenever we felt like it. We weren't waiting on money and we weren't going into debt for it. And I'm really pleased. And I've told my close friends and family, if a stranger walks up to me, I don't blurt it out, but I've told people that are close to me, and most of them have been like, oh, I didn't even notice. And so it's not that big of a deal. People aren't going to be thinking about it all night. So Don't worry about it. Choose whatever you like. I think it's much more normal to get things that aren't diamonds now. So yeah, that's the story. If you have specific questions about Moissanite, you can ask me, or like how mine behaves, which there's a ton of forums on Wedding Bee. Okay, Nate's not into this. So
how it behaves?
Well, like I'm saying,
it acts up once in a while, and I have to discipline it. It's got some behavioral issues.
Anyways,
should we return it for more docile
Can you be quiet? I'm trying to wrap this video up, and now I totally lost my train of thought. If you have more questions on the Moissanite, leave them below. I'll leave as many links to different information as I can. I hope this fulfilled the video. Was this too crazy?
Look at it, it's misbehaving right now.
Oh, okay, so there's a, like here I'm just acting, I'm doing things. People would never know it's not a diamond. And you still probably don't, oh. I took it to the jeweler yesterday to get cleaned, and they didn't say anything. They just said, looks good. They look at it under the microscope. Okay, let's say bye. Bye.
Bye.
Good job.